Krista Mecki here, Magnetic Magnificent Events. We are a Bay Area-based wedding and event planning company. We're also Sandals Resorts certified for destination weddings and honeymoons. I'm excited to be part of the Event Hollow team. This is an exciting new product to be rolling out to couples. What a great concept of being able to put their whole team together. So we're glad we're part of it, and what a phenomenal team that thought of and built Event Hollow so far. So it's an exciting time, and excited for the questions today. The idea of community over competition is really what the industry is about, and that's really what Event Hollow is about too. It's being able to collectively build your team and being able to work with phenomenal people. For me, I've had situations where we've been double booked, or I have been haven't been able to serve somebody. They either didn't fit the budget, didn't fit the timeline, and I love the fact that I'm able to actually give them to somebody in our industry that I think was a better fit for them. And similar, I've had people throw me business because they were booked, and I just love the fact that we are a community. We're not competing with each other. There's hundreds of thousands of people getting married all the time, I think, right? And so that's really what it's about. I love the fact that I have some phenomenal partners that I can rely on, that I can throw business to, that I can partner with, that I can have great photos from, and knowing that I'm working with people that are really going to elevate the experience. You know, they're going to bring the best flowers, the best linens, and things like that. And so we don't have to compete. We really complete each other as a community in the wedding industry. I love seeing people so happy. Like, I genuinely love people first, but more importantly, I love to see them in their element. I love to see when they realize everything came together perfectly, that first look walking down the aisle, the tears shed during the vows, and really for me, soaking in all the fun everyone else is having. I love seeing people on the dance floor. I love seeing them enjoying themselves. And I love the experience that we're able to give for everybody. It's not just our clients, right? It's everybody that's there. And when you have a wedding, you're not just celebrating for yourselves, although that is the main purpose, obviously, but it's for the people that you invite. It's the good time. It's those memories. It's the videos you'll watch forever. It's the photos that you'll see. And I love being part of that. That is my favorite part of creating events, is the experience for everybody involved. Now, this one may sound like a no-brainer, but a lot of times people forget to ask for concessions. They forget to ask for additional perks or discounts or, things that can get thrown in. And it's so much easier when you have a planner to get that type of stuff done. It's really because of our relationships. We represent additional business as a planner, right? And so when we say, hey, can we get a better rate on a hotel? Can we maybe get a bottle of champagne for our couple? Can we maybe be allowed to have, a bottle during their pre-ceremony, little things like that make the biggest difference. And I know when couples try to do it on their own, I've heard feedback from them. Hey, we tried to do this, but they seem like they didn't care. And I hate to tell them, but it's like, you represent one event. You're getting married one time. But when you have a planner, we represent multiple business. So the relationships we're able to have with other vendors goes a lot further than it would with just you doing your one event. That's why you should have a planner. A lot does go into planning, and it's important in the planning process to have some sort of shared document between clients and the planner and other vendors, really, a space where you can keep everything organized. I work with a lot of different couples, and a lot of times, they're going online and they're looking for all these different resources, and they have this person's schedule and that person's notebook and this person's planning book and all these different things. And honestly, it's one clear system, because when there's too many voices involved, or when there's too many opinions, there's too many, different ideas, it makes things really hard to plan. So that would be one of my biggest tips for how to keep things running smoothly, is to have one central location. The other thing that I would recommend is to limit the amount of voices that are involved altogether. If your parents are heavily involved, it could make it really difficult if you don't see eye to eye on your vision. Remember that it's about you two and it's about what you want. And have that conversation with your planner so that they can be the one to be the liaison. They can be the bad guy. They can cut people off if they need to. They can stop the family. But really, have somebody that's going to have your back to make sure that your vision is what is really happening. And that'll make everything go a lot smoother. I think all my vendor partners would agree that the biggest challenge is finding clients. Where do we find the right couples that want to pay the right price for us, that fit our vision? Because not everybody fits everybody, but where do you find them? I think that's the biggest thing, is constantly looking for that piece of business. And really, there's no perfect way to overcome it. There's all these networks you can join out there. Event Hollow is great because now we're helping each other find, different partners. But there's never really a perfect strategy for it. And, for me, overcoming it, the biggest thing I can say is that I network my tail off. I'm constantly attending events. I'm constantly meeting people. I'm constantly telling them about Magnetic Magnificent events, because when they think of a planner for any reason, I want to be the one that they think of. And, I heard one time that your network is your net worth. Meaning the more people that know about you, the more net worth you'll have. And I really took that to heart. And I'm out there meeting people all the time, shaking hands, kissing babies, as they say. And that's really how I've been able to overcome that challenge that we all have in the industry. Yes, I do specialize in branding for your business. I actually do a talk called Brand You, learning how to leave your mark and lasting impression to increase your sales. And really, that's what I just shared in the last, quick story is, networking and branding, creating a brand. You want to create a brand that people can trust, that is dependable, that is consistent. You want everything in the channels of your brand to be consistent with your brand. It is tough sometimes. And I would recommend finding a mentor or a coach or somebody who can give you the feedback that you don't always want to hear. And that's part of my branding talk, is being open to the feedback that may not be the best thing. It may not be what you want to hear, because we all want our business is our baby, right? We want it a certain way. We're growing it, we're building it, we're branding it. And that may not translate the right way to the average person. And so find somebody that you're willing to trust, that you're willing to bounce ideas off of, but make sure that your brand is steady your brand, because that's what's going to increase your sales. That's what people are going to remember. That's why they're going to bring business back to you, because your brand is consistent and it's there and they know they can rely on you. And of course, provide great service. You want your brand to really represent you in the best way possible. My favorite element of the wedding is seeing how happy people are. Honestly, best thing ever. I love seeing the smiling faces. I love hearing from people how gorgeous things were, how beautiful the bride was, how great everything was. And it makes me so happy. I honestly stay to the very end of the night. And I know not everybody does. I do. And I love just being there to make sure that everybody's having a great time, that there's no issues on the dance floor. And that's what I soak in. I love music. I used to love, going out a lot. And now it's like when I'm at weddings, I get to be in the corner enjoying a great DJ and, seeing people have a great time. And that's honestly, that's what I love. I love that. And of course, I love seeing how beautiful the bride is and those beautiful moments. But that just goes back to it. I love seeing people's experience. I love how they take it and being able to almost live vicariously from my work into their experience and then back. And it's only at the wedding day that you really get that super heartfelt, loving everything about it feeling. And I dig that. That's my joy, and totally why I love what I do.